welcome to the Blue Corner. My name is Dennis, and it's time for my top 10 releases of 2022. Yes, it's been a little delayed, but I have a reason for that, which I won't get into in this video. After this video, I will be shooting my January pickup video, also delayed, where I will get into a little bit more of what I've been up to. So, like I said, delayed. So let's just get into it. I do have 10 releases that I found that I picked up in, or it is 2022 releases. It has to have been released in 2022 to make it onto this list. So sadly, there was a few releases that was 2021 releases that I couldn't include. So I found 10 2022 releases instead, plus 3 honorable mentions that I'll do first. So first, from Blue Underground, I picked up Uncle Sam, from the same people that did Maniac Cop. I love the Maniac Cop franchise, so I was quite curious about this one. Had never seen it before, and sadly I was a bit disappointed in the movie. It is a Maniac Cop ripoff, just with a firefighter instead of a policeman. So, I don't know. Maniac Cop is just better in my mind. But I do really like this lenticular slipcover, which is why it made it to the list. Why the 2 Maniac Cop releases they also did the year before didn't get something like this, I don't know. I wish they would have. From Criterion, I picked up The Infernal Affairs. 3 really good movies. I especially love the first and the third one. Really good movies. And I was so looking forward to this set. I do wish we would have gotten them in 4K. There were 4K rumors back when the rumors of this release actually started out. So that was a bit of a letdown already there that it was only Blu-ray. And yeah, I do love the movies, which is why they made it to this list. And I've said it before about Criterion. Criterion do great releases, but I'm not that big a fan of this kind of box sets. They'll wear and tear over time will destroy the box. It doesn't matter how much you protect it, like, unless you bag it up and never touch it again. So that's why it didn't make it into my top 10. But great set of movies. The final honorable mention, pure nostalgia, nothing else. Well, technically the artwork on it made me pick it too, which is Expect No Mercy from Vinegar Syndrome. I thought about, okay, Expect No Mercy or TC 2000. They had to be on the list, but then I saw TC 2000 was a 2021 release, so not that hard to exclude that one. But yeah, like I said, this is pure nostalgia. I watched these 2 movies quite a bit back in the early 90s, where anything Jean-Claude Van Damme, Billy Blanks, Gary Daniels, Mark Dacascos, movies like these were just stable in my collection. So when Vinegar Syndrome decided to put these movies out, I was really surprised that they would ever get a Blu-ray release in this day and age. Not great movies by today's standards, but like I said, nostalgia. But I do like the artwork that this is the original one. That's not so great, but I do like the front artwork at least. So yeah, pure nostalgia. So let's continue to my actual top 10. and I'm actually a bit surprised about some of the releases I put on the list and how many releases from one company that I had to pick from. So my number 10 ended up being the 4K release from Arrow of Flatliners, and I don't have any specific love for this movie. I've seen it many years ago, and then again, of course, when I saw this release, and I quite enjoyed the movie. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did this time around. But in this case, it is the slipcover that got its number 10 spot. I just really like that glossy feel and the look and the feel of the slipcover itself. I don't know how to describe what the slipcover feels like. It's not a regular cardboard slipcover. So, yeah, Flatliners, good movie. Got its space for or spot because of the slipcover. So, number 10, Flatliners. Number 9, also an Arrow release. And yeah, like I said, I'm surprised. There's been a bunch of Arrow releases that I could have picked. Some of them were re-releases on 4K, which just used the same artwork, which is why I decided not to go with those. But I decided to go with The Wolf of Wall Street. Great movie. Love this movie. Could easily have been high on the list if not for the other titles on this. But in this case, again, it is the packaging that made it get on my list here. So where you have, it looks like a wallet with credit cards and money and everything, and then you have the edition in the side here, or one side, and a booklet. No, well, yeah, booklet on the other side. So I, I just feel like this was a rather creative way to make this box set, which I could have easily bought the regular 4K edition, standard Emery 4K edition, but when I saw this, I want Arrow, even though it's a little more expensive. So yeah, my number 9 spot, Wolf of Wall Street. My number 8 spot goes to Eureka's Police Story Trilogy 4K edition. And I'm quite surprised that this could have been so much higher on the list. I love these movies. I'm glad we have them in 4K. Heck, I'm surprised, spoiler alert, this is the only Eureka edition on this list for 2022. Some of the other editions I had picked up last year were 2021 releases, so of course I couldn't put them on the list. But I'm so happy we have Eureka putting out box sets like this. But if you've seen my pickup videos, I always seem to have a small, I don't want to say gripe, but there's always something missing with Eureka. I'm not a fan of the double feature releases unless they do something like this, individual covers, stuff like that. There's just always something with Eureka, and I love 99% of the Hong Kong action movies they put out, which I'm picking up pretty much every single one anyway. So, yeah, and this is an upgrade. I did have the first two on Blu-ray, and even now that I have this 4K box set, I'm still tempted to pick up the standard Blu-ray release they put out of Police Story 3 just to have that edition too. So, like I said, I don't want to say love-hate relationship. I don't want to say gripe. I love Eureka, but there's just always something missing. And yeah, I hate that feeling because, like I said, I love these releases, and this should have been so much higher on the list. I just can't. But yeah, Eureka or Police Story. My number 7 release. Yeah, 7. From Vinegar Syndrome, I decided to put Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 4K release. And again, I'm surprised that we would be getting movies like this on 4K. And then again, it's Vinegar Syndrome. I really shouldn't be surprised. Vinegar Syndrome has stepped up their game the last few years in my mind quite a bit, and this isn't the only Vinegar Syndrome on the list, so you'll see more. Vinegar Syndrome has been around. What it had, they had a 10-year anniversary last year, if I'm not I do remember. From them, yeah, I do believe it was 10 years, and 7 of those years I didn't know about them, and looking back at what titles they put out, I don't believe there's been a single title I wanted. I found out about Vinegar Syndrome when they put out the lenticular edition of Jack Frost, which I got, and it was a first time watch. I got it because of the slipcover. Didn't like the movie, ended up selling it and making quite a bit of a profit. But then they started out or putting out 90s martial arts movies like I like Expect No Mercy, like I already shown you. Now they've started to put out other movies, not those sleazy cult horror movies that, unless you're a die-hard horror fan, you've never even heard of. So they still put out plenty of stuff I have absolutely no interest in. I don't see myself becoming a subscriber ever with the stuff they put out now. But I do like that they do have releases I want in between too. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, classic horror movie. If you're a horror fan, of course you know this one. But it is still it is my favorite Texas Chainsaw in the franchise, and the fact that they do these, well, slip case, slip cover, and reversible artwork and everything, and they put a ton of special features on this release. Now, I don't care about special features nearly as much as I used to. I would give the movie all the bitrate it can, and I'm more than happy. But this is just I doubt we'll ever see a better release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre than this one. So, my number 7 spot, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, 4K. Number 6 goes to The Seventh Curse from 88 Films. A movie I've never seen before. I got this one, saw it pop up on 88 site, and this was at the time where I had decided to only pick up the stuff I knew I wanted. I was trying to cut back from just buying anything Hong Kong related. That didn't last, of course, thankfully. So I picked up the Seventh Curse Deluxe Edition, and I loved this movie. Technically, I've seen it twice now, and I had a blast with it. It's just a weird, bonkers movie, and yeah, it's out there. I would say check out the trailer, and if that doesn't sell you on what this movie is, I don't know what will. But I can't show you more than the front and back here. It's on YouTube. There's nudity on some of the stuff inside here, so I'll just leave it at that. But this is just a fun, bonkers, out there movie that, yeah, like I said, I had a blast with it. So yeah, my number 6. I want to say 6. Sixth, The Seventh Curse from 88 Films. On to my number 5 spot. Again, Vinegar Syndrome, which is probably the release that showed people, okay, Vinegar Syndrome is trying to step up the game, and that is, of course, Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse. Now, I don't have any deep nostalgia to this movie. I've seen it before. I saw it back when it came out. I've seen it several times since. And yet, I don't believe I've had it in my collection since the VHS days. I don't believe I ever had it on DVD or even Blu-ray. So when this first got announced, I was, it's a good movie, but I don't need it in my collection. Then we actually saw the release, what they did with it, the artwork, and okay, I'm buying it. I really like this artwork, and I haven't had the chance to put the 4K disc in yet. There's just been so many movies I've tried to catch up on, but it's just, I love what they are doing with these VSUs editions, where you have an actual hard case for it, and of course booklet and slip cover and well, same artwork on that side. But yeah, this is just a great release, and if Vinegar Syndrome puts out more stuff like this, then I'll keep buying. Well, this is VSU number 4. They have put out number 5, and of course I've already bought that. One thing I will say about a Vinegar Syndrome is they put out some great stuff, bad too, but the shipping time. Oh my god, I'm glad I don't buy too much from Vinegar Syndrome. If I had to wait as long as I do with these releases, every single package I was waiting for, I put in a Vinegar Syndrome order, and it usually takes somewhere between 4 and 5 weeks before I have it. That's just way too long. I know subscribers get their packages shipped out first, but 4 to 5 weeks, that's just too long to wait in my mind. But yeah, that and small gripe. Let's just move on. So my number 4, fourth spot in my 2022 collection goes to Raging Fire from Cine-Asia. This is the Steelbook edition, which was first exclusive to Savvy, and then apparently got put on Amazon after a short while after all. So, I don't know why. But yeah, I'm not a Steelbook collector anymore. This is the only Steelbook I bought in 2022, and while I do like the artwork, the only reason why I bought the Steelbook is simply because the Steelbook is the only way you can get the movie on 4K in the UK at least. I don't believe America put out a 4K release. But Donnie on the front, it's, of course, it is a Donnie Yen movie, one of my favorite action movie stars, so I had to get this one. Thankfully, I do like the artwork quite a bit. So, this is one of the only Steelbooks that'll stay in my collection for now. Yeah, I don't collect Steelbooks anymore. I've already said that. So, on to my third place. Again, Arrow. I'm actually surprised that I have 3 Arrow editions on my top 10 list here. But I doubt that this will be a surprise to many. The top 10, 20 lists I've seen from people that I watch pretty much all have this in the top 5 somewhere. But I have it as my number 3, and that's of course Shawscope Volume 2 from Arrow Video. I was almost about to say that Volume 1 was a 2022 release too, but that's not true. That was a December 2021 release, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going with the second one. I haven't seen too many of the movies yet. Unlike the first box set, I'm taking my time with this one. I watched the first one way too fast. So many of the movies blend together. And I've talked about it before. I haven't been a Shaw Brothers fan for years and years like I have with other 90s Hong Kong releases. I do prefer 80s, 90s Hong Kong action movies over Shaw Brothers. So I've never really dived too much into them. So many of these movies are first time watches. And while there is some that I could easily see myself skip on if they were single releases, I'm glad that I really do enjoy some of them. So, but yeah, Shawscope Volume 2, and I'm so ready for more of them. So, nice, hefty booklet here. Of course, you've you've more than likely seen it before, if not in my update video. But I do really like the artwork in these books. If you can, yeah, I'll call them books. So I, even had they put them out in single editions and put the numbers on the spines, you would have seen every single one of them being picked up for my collection anyway. So I'm probably happy that they're doing it this way. Even though they are not cheap editions to begin with, they are well worth the money in my mind. And that's as a non-Shaw Brothers diehard fan. So yeah, my number 3 spot goes to Shawscope Volume 2. On to my second favorite release of 2022, and that goes to Tiger Cage, the trilogy. Tiger Cage 1 and 2 and In the Line of Duty series have been some of my all-time favorite Hong Kong action movies for years, and Tiger Cage 2 is a major reason why I'm a Donnie Yen fan. So when 88 Films decided to put or announced that they were going to put this out, I was so happy. I did have the first 2 on Hong Kong Blu-rays. I had never seen the third one before I got this box set. So I was happy they were able to just do the box set and not single editions. Normally, I would normally take single edition releases over box sets, because in this day and age, nothing is ever the complete series or collection. There's always gonna, they always seem to bring back stuff one way or another. I doubt that they'll do it with this, but I'm glad we got this on a release. I don't like the third one nearly as much as the first 2. Maybe I'm biased because Don Yen isn't in that one. But just to have this box set in my collection, and now we're getting in the Line of Duty movies too, or some of them anyway. I'm over the moon with stuff like this, and I'm so happy I can have it in my collection now. Now it's just, okay, where's the 4K? I'll gladly buy it again. But yeah, I love this box set. I'm glad I have it. And it is my second favorite of the year. And with that, we're down to my favorite release of 2022. And it couldn't be anything but Morbius. Right? Right? It has to be this one, right? Ah. Oh, okay. Let's not go with that one. Again, I'll go with an 88 films release. And I'm gonna go with Drive. Again, nostalgia might be the main reason on this movie. I freaking love this movie. It's been a mainstay for me again since early 90s, whenever 97. Okay, so I guess it couldn't have been that long ago. But ever since I first saw this, I had it on VHS, I had it on DVD, I had it on DVD for many years, both first Danish DVD and then UK special edition DVD that had a longer cut of the movie. Then I was so over the moon when MVD announced they were gonna put out the Blu-ray. I bought the Blu-ray right away, alone, nothing else. Pretty expensive Blu-ray with import shipping or import taxes and shipping to get it to Denmark. But just to have this one in HD, I had to get it. I love this movie. I'm a big Mark Dacascos fan, and this with Crying Freeman are my two favorite Dacascos movies. So you can imagine how I reacted when 88 Films announced that they were gonna put this one out on 4K. This is a major reason why 88 Films is my absolute favorite boutique label out there. There's several others that I love, but 88 Films just put out more content that I personally really love to get in my collection. And yeah, this is I would never have imagined that Drive would get a 4K edition. And no matter what these companies announce in this day and age, there's always people, why no 4K release? In this day and age, you should put them out in 4K releases. People just don't understand how expensive it is to put out a 4K release. The discs themselves are way more expensive. They have to pay extra for the HDR, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. There's all these extra expensive that people don't think about. So a movie like Drive, the fact that they dared to give Drive on 4K a chance, just I'm so thankful for 88 Films. I freaking love this movie. So of course this had to be my number one spot of 2022 releases. There's just no other way. So with that was my 2022 favorite pickups or favorite releases pickups. What about you? What's your favorite 2022 pickup? Doesn't have to be Blu-ray, doesn't have to be 4K, could be whatever. Let me know down in the comments. And with that, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.